all the prophets were poets. And if you don't know that, you try to literalize everything and make shambles out of it. A metaphor is really a remarkable kind of formation because it both means what it says and what it doesn't say. And so those two things come together and it creates an imagination which is active. You're not trying to figure things out, you're trying to enter into what's there.
One thing you wrote about poetry is that, I'll just read this, it's wonderful language. Poets tell us what our eyes, blurred with too much gawking, and our ears, dulled with too much chatter, miss around and within us. Poets use words to drag us into the depth of reality itself. I really like this. Poetry grabs us by the jugular. Far from being cosmetic language, it is intestinal.
I think it's been important for me. I would think it'd be important for anybody. But to find a few poets that really strike home to you and then memorize them. And you learn to listen to the dynamics of their language. Then I can, the music gets inside my head, and I'm reading poetry without knowing I'm reading poetry. And then that helps with the scriptures too. I didn't realize when I did the message, I had a congregation of people who didn't read books, and so I started translating the Bible in their language, not knowing what I was doing. And suddenly, they started paying attention to me in a way they never did before. And so I think, and I didn't call it poetry. If I'd have done that, they would have quit.
Right.
I think people who use language have to be pretty subversive. And if this is where a poet helps us. He trains our minds to hear stuff we didn't hear before. And that's what's quite wonderful about having children. They sometimes use language in a kind of, they discover words.
Yeah.
And they start using them in ways we never thought of doing. And I think children in their pre-school days have a lot to teach us about language.